So moving on, the Tennessee Titans literally give zero fucks about COVID. They're like, yeah, we got 6 players or 7 players and 5 personnel that got it. We're just gonna keep going with it. We can't go to our practice facility, so we're just gonna decide to have private practices. We don't give a shit. They still keep getting more positive tests, although that's stopped. So hopefully they'll have their game against Buffalo today. But it almost seems like they're trying to get like their hard games out of the way, or like get them moved later on to the year so that they can play the easy ones now. And then maybe once those harder teams come along, they can have a few players injured. I don't really know what's going on with them,
Yeah,
but
I think the Titans are trying to pull a fast one here on the NFL, and I'm here to stop it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think they're going to get punished because of. I don't know what the punishment is going to be if they lose the draft pick, if they get fined just money. But yeah, for what you're, like from what the reports are saying is that these players, the ones who even had COVID and stuff, were practicing in a private facility or whatever the hell they were doing. I mean, it's all alleged, but obviously, yeah, they don't give a shit. Honestly, I blame. I blame Trump. He's tweeting out here that he feels better than ever after taking the meds he's pushing, and I think the Titans, were following his advice. They're like, hey, he's an old geezer. He got away with it. He's doing fine. Why was it
yeah,
stopping me? I'm a perfectly fit
I
NFL
mean
player.
that is the leader of the country. It's kind of someone whose example we should follow. So maybe that's what they're doing.
That's what it looks like
So,
they're doing there. And then honestly, I don't trust Mike Vrabel and his stupid mustache. You know he's up to something. You know he's always fucking.
but I
You know,
mean, he is a disciple of Bill Belichick. So anybody that's been around him for a while, and he used to wear a neck pad too when he played. So I don't trust this
yeah,
guy.
there's nothing to trust about him at all. He looks like a type of guy who would have, COVID or some disease and cough on you. So yeah, I'm definitely not feeling what the Titans are over there, ruin the entire league because everyone else in the league is like, hey, we're good, man. Like, yeah, nothing over here. And then fucking every other week, the Titans are injecting themselves with bacteria, whatever the fuck they're doing over there. So I think they're trying to ruin it for the league, trying to because their Bills game now is postponed until Tuesday. So they're playing Tuesday, and then the Chiefs game that was supposed to be played on Thursday is now playing on Sunday night, I think, or something like that. So it's just like rearranging everyone's schedule because the Titans just don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. So I'm hoping whoever plays them this year twists their neck.
Yeah, no, it's at first I was like when their continuously positive results started coming back, although this is pretty kind of far out there. Like maybe the initial batch of players included like big names like Henry or Tannehill, so they're trying to prolong the time off so they can come back. But it was just like all backups, and now in the meantime, one of their top receivers, Corey Davis, happened to catch it. So instead of catching footballs, this guy's catching diseases now.
Yeah, that's a bad move on his part. I don't know. I think like I mean even I like I said when it happened I feel like they should have just played it as if they were injured players, especially hearing that it was just backups. So you can just sign you guys on the practice squad or whatever the hell you need to do to keep it moving. But I mean, obviously the NFL decided to. Part of me thinks of say the Titans were playing some like bottom feeder, but they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they're like, oh, we got to make sure we have this game for ratings and this and that. So let's not trot out like a bad team versus a decent team or whatever. But obviously that's just like conspiracy. There's no way to know what the hell they're doing. So I don't know. I just think that the Titans, if it's coming out that they just like stopped giving a shit and started, completely not caring about the rules and regulations or the safety measures, whatever they had to do, not so much like how much they care about the disease itself, how deadly it is, whatever it is, but the simple fact that they knew that if something like this would happen, it affects the rest of the league, not just themselves. Like, of course they can't play, but now the Steelers having an early bye week. Now it affects the Bills game coming up. They have to play on Tuesday. Then it affects the Chiefs games. It's like a domino effect. And I think to me that's like what's annoying because it's like if you're not a fan of the Titans and you're a fan of another team, if you're a Bills fan, a Steelers fan, you're like, okay, great. So our season's fucked up and gets all twisted up because the Titans were just, ass
Yeah,
clowns.
fucking around.
So I
Yeah,
think
and it,
that part annoys me. If I was, But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like it's impacting just the Titans games, because now like the Steelers Baltimore game in Week 7 has to get pushed back another week. Yeah, like this Bills game that's supposed to be between Kansas City and Buffalo is getting pushed back to Sunday instead of Thursday, and it's getting impossible to even keep track of like all the, readjustments in the schedule. So I think punishment possibly is coming towards them, especially if they really did have those private practices and they did not, take the necessary precautions. Draft picks probably losing first, second rounders. I don't know. I mean, the NFL kind of, like we mentioned in a previous podcast, they prepared, but I think they prepared for something of more of like a league-wide thing happening where they take off a couple weeks and just move everything back 2 weeks. I don't think they probably did prepare for it, but I don't think they expected just one team to have like 20-some instances of positive testing. And I think the Titans probably should get some sort of punishment.
Yeah. I think where the punishment lies for me, like why they should get punished or fined, or not that even that's that big of a deal. Like, I don't think it really affects them unless they lose draft picks or if they lose, like, if I have to forfeit a game or whatever is really what it'll affect them. If they get fined money, then that's just whatever. The owner is pissed, But to me, it's the simple fact that if it does come out that they were not following whatever rules they had in place, and because of not following these rules, it spread faster, whatever the case was, I think that's where they should get fined, because ultimately it's like, for instance, I think if they get COVID and it happened to spread and it was like, okay, it's an inevitable thing, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because it's like, oh, what can you do? You don't control that. But you control practicing, in private when you have it. You control following the regulations. You control wearing the mask, all that bullcrap that they're telling us to do. Then that's when, and then if you don't do that and that's the reason it spreads, and that's when you should get punished. I don't know what the punishment should be, to be honest, but something to be like, okay, you can't just be ass clowns and ruin the whole league for, not even the players who are trying to compete, but obviously it's a business and fans want to watch it and all that. So I don't know. Whatever they're doing, they need to fucking get uppercutted and uppercut it out of the league, maybe.
Yeah, well, I've read a couple of stories that are like the Titans should just forego this season.
Fuck it.
That seems kind of far-fetched, but at the same time, if this keeps going on, to some extent, yeah, I'm for it, but to some extent, it's not fair.
Of course it's not fair. I'm fucking around, but fuck them. I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired of these Titans, dude. They're always doing some stupid shit. One season, the head coach is going to cut his dick off. Now, all of a sudden, they're all taking hydrochlorocoxine or whatever the fuck that shit is called. I'm fucking tired of it, dude. Get them out of the league. We don't need them. What do they do? Honestly, what do they really do over there in Nashville? They listen to country music. They wear hiking boots or cowboy boots. And then they have fucking bachelorette parties every other weekend. That's not any fun. So get him out of here, There's no need for him.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you for listening in to this clip of the Moose Bros podcast. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment below, and subscribe to this channel to see more clips just like this one. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, you can find us at Spotify or Apple Podcasts under Moose Bros Sports.